Well, obviously, I think there's going to be a change in that team.
Okay.
I'm not sure the coach will want to repeat the same starting 11. I haven't seen the way the left back, the right back, the goalkeeper, the combination in the middle, as a matter of fact, wasn't what we expected. Joel Obi and NDD. As far as I'm concerned, they were not gelling. They didn't play together. There were no passes to the strikers. You know, a lot of the balls that actually got to Ighalo was his struggling passes, struggling balls that he gets, and he has to, you know, back off defenders. So I believe the next game he will have a change in that team. Obviously, he has to have a change in that team.
Because Nigerians, you know, when we win, we begin to celebrate, and nobody will see the flaws in this team. Right. So, but as an expert, you believe it wasn't.
Yeah. A couple of faults in that team. Like I said, the left back, I didn't see.
Okay, let's start from the goalkeeping. Okay, we saw Uzoho.
You're right. I mean, good height, not well composed. First half, second half he came back strong. I think he needs more game under his belt. It's not international games that he needs under his belt. He needs club games under his belt. So if I were the coach, I'll look for goalkeepers that are keeping regularly in their teams. That's what I think Uzoho needs. So for me, next game he'll probably be on the bench and then try Ezenwa and then try Akpe. Yes.
Okay. Let's look at the central defense where we have the Oyibo wall like
I think by and large the two of them they're getting to know each other very well. They didn't play badly, but of course the level, the standard we expect from the World Cup teams, I'm not sure two of them can deliver it. But with games coming in and out, they might be able to get to that level.
Okay, our wing backs, Shehu Abdullahi and the man that plays in Russia.
They try to do. Idowu is a right-footed player to start with. I mean, that was not, he cannot play left back. I don't know what happened to Ola, you know. Idowu did not play to what I expected him to play. There was no overlapping from him at all. Even from Shehu Abdullahi, a little bit, maybe once or twice. You know, when you see teams play now, the way they apply the normal football technology, you must overlap fullbacks because you're part of the team. You don't just sit back and then be waiting to defend when your opponent attacks you. That's what they were doing yesterday.
Okay, what of the young band that came in the second half? We saw him for 10-15 minutes, Tyrone Ebuehi.
Well, he has to learn how to play in national team. You know, playing for clubs are different from playing national teams. Most times when he got the ball, he was always trying to showcase his ability. That by not playing with the team, trying to take on the opponent. You know, normally when you play that kind of level, you must play with your team. You must pass the ball around. You know, balls are faster than human beings.
Okay, in the midfield now, we didn't see our captain, Mikel. He was not part of the team.
Right.
Ogeye Onazi was on the bench, but we saw Ndidi and Joel Obi coming back to the team. What do you think that midfield was stable?
Well, Joel Obi, as far as I'm concerned, for that game, he didn't do very well. It was more defensive than playing offensive. That's why I said balls getting to Odion were not enough, were not the normal balls, and as such, I think he needs to try another pair. Another pair, I mean, Ndidi and Mikel, or Ndidi and Onazi.
Okay.
But for Joel, he needs to also come back. He has not played for national in the last 2 or 3 years, so I think that's also a factor. But he did his best, and hopefully he can make the team to work out.
Okay, the two young men up front, apart from Odion Ighalo, Kelechi Iheanacho and Alex Iwobi.
Well, of course, those are the young guns we have, and I think with more games under their belt, they will do well in this coming World Cup. And Iwobi, of course, we know his style of play. He can play from the left, from the right. Probably needs to release the ball more on time and then get into scoring positions. You know, when you play as a striker from the wing, Simon Moses always does that.
Okay.
When Simon Moses plays, he makes the offensive moves. He gets himself into scoring positions whereby you can, commit players, and that's what Moses does as well.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay, we saw Moses, and then Osaiti, let me come to you now. Our next game is against Serbia. I mean, Wydad Koné has dissected that team the way we expect him to do. We are playing our next game against Serbia on Tuesday. What will you be expecting from Kenotro?
Yeah, I wanted to work on the midfield. Against Poland, the midfield was not just there at all. Before we came on air, I was discussing with Wydad Koné. I said the days of Okocha and Kanu Nwankwo, late Ene Okon, late Thompson Oliha, and the Pons Amerege are no longer there. We don't have midfielders that can carry the ball.
Moses Pako too.
We don't have midfielders that can carry the ball. And in as much as we don't have it, we continue to have problems with the attack. If the midfielders are not lazy well with the attack, it becomes a problem. So now we took a look at we looked at the players we have in the country. How many of them are really talented to play like Okocha and Kanu Nwankwo in this present team? We don't have them. In as much as we don't have them, we continue to have problems. But I want the director to bring in some other players in that midfield that can liaise well with the defense and at the same time with the attack. That is the only way we can. Serbia is a different ball, it's a different team entirely.
Okay.
Serbia to me is better than Poland.
Okay.
So if we play the way we play Poland, we might find it difficult to win.
Okay, but let's come back to we played Argentina.
Right.
People said, oh, Messi was not there, Dybala was not there. We won 4-2. We played Poland, Lewandowski and all that. Oh, Lewandowski can score against any defense. Right. We are going to be beaten. We won. Now we are playing Serbia. Don't you think we'll have a team that, people should begin to reckon with?
Well, I'll be honest with you, the occasions are always different. Friendly games are different from World Cup proper. Until we get to play those teams in the World Cup, then if you ask me again, I'm not sure we're there yet. I'm looking at the technical aspect of the game. I'm looking at applications, where you know what to do when you don't have the ball, when you have the ball. We're not there yet, and the coach knows that, and that's why I think next game against Serbia will be a different game. Though the occasion is also going to be different. We're playing in England now. A lot of players want to show kids, they want to show their talent, they want to show the English team, English clubs that I can play, because they didn't play well. So for example, if you're not playing in England, these players will come up, they want to play more. So let's see how they come up against Serbia, and I think a World Cup will actually determine, the first game we play in the World Cup will determine how far Nigeria will go in that series.
Okay, but look at the build-up. Don't you think that we're on course with this international friendly?
The federations they're doing very well. There's no doubt about that. We just played number 6 in the world. We already played Argentina, and then we're playing Serbia as well. So it shows that the backroom staff, the backroom team, they're doing their bit, they're doing their own thing by getting these friendly games. And if we can get more, I'm not sure how many of these friendly games we can get before the World Cup. So they didn't just play this last one and go and slip off. We must continue. We must improve on the standard. And every window we get, we go and play a very high team, and then we can make sure that these boys are ready for World Cup.